London Reel's 6th, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, feature-length documentary film, We Will Not Be Silenced.
Woo! Yeah, Brian, we won't.
And you're goddamn right we won't. That's the truth. And I want to say, first of all, I appreciate you all coming here tonight. I know some of you have traveled overseas, and some of you even clean up pretty good. I appreciate you making the efforts all around, and just really appreciate all the energy we've gotten from everyone in the process of making this film. Now, we spent 3 years to make this movie. It's actually the longest period of time we've ever taken to make one of our 6 documentary films here at London Reel, because this message, we believe, is more important than anything that we've ever put out there. Now, we've been doing this for 12 years. We've made a lot of pieces of content, but this is our fight for this most basic, fundamental human right, and that is freedom of speech. It's that simple. It's also your right to hear what someone else has to say.
Yeah.
And these are systematically being taken away from us. And I believe this is our most important fight for all of humanity. And if we don't win this fight, well, we're looking at a future that's been described by the gentleman making that quote behind me, Mr. Orwell. I actually listened to that audiobook. If you ever want a downer, that's what you want to do. Right? 1984 is not a pretty picture. And if we don't stand up and fight for these rights, we are looking about a future where we're no longer in control and we are being controlled. And yet this fundamental human right is being taken away from us every single day. And most people are really none the wiser. And so we crafted this film because we knew we had an incredible story to tell, and we had to tell it in the right way. And I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And so I'll see what you think tonight. You know, it was hard making this movie because I'm a very difficult person to make a movie with, to be honest. And so we tried many different times, and ultimately about a year ago we were about to give up, and I thought, I'm missing something here. And what I was missing was this crazy kid that was down in Peru drinking some of that plant medicine. What's it called? Ayahuasca. I don't know what it is, but my director, who had been there, ayahuasca, that's it.
Ayahuasca.
My director that had been with me, with all of my films, whether it was running an Ironman race, or whether it was talking about my struggles with addiction, or whether it was drinking some of that plant medicine myself, he wasn't with me, and we couldn't really do it. And I don't know if it was the universe or someone conspired, but I was really blessed to get our director of this film back and working with me. His name is Luis Solarat. Please stand up. He's right there, and this is the man who made this film. Yeah! I will never make another film without you. You got me. And of course, every great director needs a fantastic editor, and that is none other than Johan Fleibring. Johan, please stand up. This is the man. And it's these guys that actually have been making movies with us really pretty since the start, right, guys? And I think you'll really appreciate their fine work, so thank you, guys.
Thank you.
What you're going to see tonight is a 27-day period in 2020 where we had to fight. Now, a lot of you probably remember that time and some of the content that we put out. But we were going head-to-head, fighting against trillion-dollar technology companies, huge governments and their regulators. We were fighting against massive mainstream media, and of course those little 3-letter organizations that we all know and love. Right? You know what I'm talking about. And yet, we, with a small team in London, with a bigger team around the world we call the London Reel Army. I think there's a few of you in here. And a small amount of capital, we fought back and we won.
Yeah.
We put our message out there and ultimately to a live stream of 1 million people, and we showed them that we are more powerful than they are. And it's a really important story to tell. And we want to show that, again, we actually are more powerful than they are. And so that's what we're going to chronicle tonight. Now, a lot of people came up to me and said, Brian, why did you even do this? You could have stayed at home. Why did you put your business on the line? Why did you put your reputation on the line? And the truth is, probably like a lot of you here, it's just not in my DNA to do that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Now, if you ever come to the studio in London Reel, you'll see on the back wall we have a mission statement. And it says our mission is to create a mass-scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. That's been up there since the early days. Think about that. Fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative. And what were they trying to do? They were trying to take away your power. They were trying to make us less conscious. And cooperation, they were trying to get us to fight amongst each other. They're doing it today. Any issue, they use it to divide us and divide us and divide us. And so it was against my DNA to just sit back. And so we went all in and fought as hard as we could. And we're going to show you kind of what happened tonight. Now, of course, this film wouldn't have been possible, and 2020 wouldn't have been possible without our main character here. And that is because of the work of one man. Now, I have been fighting for free speech for 3 years. This man has been working tirelessly for over 30 years to get his message out there. He's been ridiculed on a national scale to such an extent that none of us could ever comprehend what that was like. And this was the man that was the feature of what we did. And we're honored to have him here tonight. Mr. David Icke, could you please stand up? And David is at the tip of the spear of this fight. You know, recently it was confirmed that he's banned from entering the entire European Union. That's 26 countries. And a further few with the Schengen zone. And Australia. And the list goes on and on and on. He's not allowed to even enter those countries. All because I believe the Dutch government wouldn't allow him to exercise his right for free speech. This gets no mainstream media coverage. This is a violation of a fundamental human right, and it's happening right in front of our eyes every single day. Now, a lot of you know that 4 weeks ago, about 30 days ago, London Real was completely deplatformed from YouTube.
Ooh.
Now that was 12 years of my life. It was 14,000 pieces of content and videos that I uploaded. Conversations with over 1,000 of the greatest minds in the world. This stuff had been viewed over 400 million times. And I know my content saved lives. Not to mention the stuff I did with David, but I'm talking about people that my content saved from suicide, from drug addiction, from all sorts of struggles. I know because they come up to the street and they tell me. They hold on to me tight and say, Brian, that saved me. That's all gone. There were 2.3 million people in the world that were subscribing to my content. They wanted to hear what I had to say, and I wanted to share my content with them. And now, a $1 trillion technology company has come in the middle and said, no, you can no longer talk to each other. This is the reality we are facing. And I won't lie to you, it was September 4th on a Monday. I was actually teaching a class, and it wasn't my funnest of days when that happened. It was like a big punch to the gut. And I didn't sleep very well that night. And at the same time, I'm in the middle of making this goddamn movie. And so I've got David in my head, and I've got all these messages in my head. And I got to an interesting point in the movie where I could reflect on what happened. And it was something that David said, and you'll see it in the movie tonight, and it's very prescient and very important about what happened. Here we have a 71-year-old man who lives in a one-bedroom flat in the Isle of Wight. You've got some crazy Americans strutting around London in these three-piece suits, talking all this nonsense, right? I mean, not exactly the two people you think are public enemy number one or two, right? But when they silence us, they show us how powerful we truly are.
Yeah.
And that's something that David taught me. And so I'm using this as a source of inspiration. And I'm using this as a way that I can see to move on and keep going forward regardless. Now I want to say a couple more things. During that time in 2020, I wasn't alone. I had some soldiers with me that were standing side to side, walking into a battlefield with an unknown enemy. These people heard the fear-mongering, they heard the scare, they heard the social distancing, the stay at home, and yet they came to battle with me and made all of this stuff happen on the screen. And I want to call them out today. Paul Frost, please stand up. Kim Murray, please stand up. Mr. Julie Bell, if you're here, please stand up. Please, thank these people. You'll see them in the movie, Mr. Bales as well. They were there with me on the front line, fighting to make this stuff happen. They look much better on camera. And so if you see them afterwards, you know, give them some love, hug them, kiss them, give them some money, whatever. Make sure that you definitely honor them. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Woo!
And so I want to finish by saying thank you to all of you. You know, London Real has been, it's been the greatest thing of my entire life. And these last 12 years have been the best of my life, thanks to you and all the energy that I got from you around the world. You know, some people ask me how we made it through those times of 2020. I feel like you were all giving me energy from all around the world. And even though I couldn't see you, something kept pushing me on. And so I want to thank you for this crazy adventure that London Real has given me. It's given me beautiful things. It's given me now 6 years of sobriety I'm so happy with. It's given me a purpose. It's given me a beautiful family that's right in front of me. I don't know if we're still awake here. Are they asleep? It's given me Kate and Rose and Gabby Rose and Damon Rose. Can you guys stand up? Let me give you a applause. It's given me so many beautiful things. But I don't want to stop there. I want to thank a few other people. I want to thank the folks at YouTube. And I want to thank the folks at Facebook. I do. I want to thank the folks at PayPal and at Dropbox and at LinkedIn, all the people that got rid of me in 2020. I want to thank the folks over at the BBC. I do. I want to thank the governments. I want to thank Ofcom. Yeah? I want to thank the World Health Organization. I want to thank the and I want to thank the FBI and the CIA. Because Lord knows they were probably behind the scenes censoring me in some way, shape, or form. Thank you, Twitter files. All right? And I want to thank them. And I want to thank them for the following reason. Because before I was an advocate for free speech. But now I'm a fanatic. Day, I am going to be accelerating this mission. Now I know exactly what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Thank you. Because they ain't seen nothing yet. All right? I'm going to double my efforts. I'm going to triple my efforts. Quadruple. I'm going to 10x everything we're doing here. And we're going big is what we're going to do. Because ultimately, we will not be silenced. We will not be censored. And we will not be stopped. Definitely picked the wrong white boy to fuck. And so we've got a great evening planned. We're going to have the movie, and then right afterwards, David and I will be on stage for a quick fireside chat, and we're going to answer your questions as well. And now I'm not going to have anyone else stand up. Now I'm going to let you sit back and enjoy this film. Please try to take something away from this film. Try to take something back that you can use tomorrow, that you can tell your friends about, that you can use to advance this cause. That's why we made it. And I really hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, I give you London Real's film, We Will Not Be Silent. Yeah!